So if your pulse matched the music and your pulse matched the music, then your pulses matched each other. And we match and we match and we match. Now, it took us 1 minute and 17 seconds to synchronize our heartbeats in this room. What about the 17,200 people in the audience? What happened to their heartbeats as they listened to this music? It's amazing how we can be connected, and yet we retain our identity and our cultural beauty. Albert Einstein said that all of life is vibration. So if all of life is vibration, what happens when they synchronize? Entrainment is when two oscillating entities or vibrating entities synchronize their oscillations, their vibrations. And this happens to us in amazing and many different kinds of ways. If I say hello to you, can I? Yvonne, hello, Yvonne. What just happened? Connection. Yes, connection. Yeah. When I moved to a little village from Chicago, I decided that I would meet everybody I saw with buongiorno and a smile. And do you know what I get back from every single person? Buongiorno and a smile. What's happening is the connection and the level of the brain, because we are firing up our mirror neurons. Our brain has connected us. If you feel comfortable, I'd like to ask you to shake the hand of the person beside you. If you don't feel comfortable shaking their hands, just notice what's happening. Notice what's happening around you. As you shook each other's hands, did you notice that perhaps you shared the grip? You had the same kind of grip for each other, or maybe you went up and down at the same time. Two people decided not to shake hands, they hugged each other, and maybe you hugged each other in a very similar way. We are connected physically. We can connect immediately physically. Have you ever seen a baby laugh? If you can take a minute and remember, I've seen these videos and been around babies. When babies start to laugh, they can't stop, right? They go crazy. And after a while, I find that I'm laughing with them. Yeah? This is connection at a chemical level because our brain produces hormones. The baby's laughing, the baby's producing dopamine. I'm laughing, I'm producing dopamine, and voila, we are connected at a chemical level. We don't even have to be in the same room. So why do we care about connecting with another person? Helen Keller mused that one person alone can do very little. Two people together can do a lot. If you don't know the story of Helen Keller, she was born deaf and blind and mute. Her family had no idea what to do with her. They basically just left her alone. They fed her and cleaned her, but this poor child was completely closed within herself, alone. And somehow one day, a teacher arrived, taught her how to sign language, to do sign, taught her how to read, taught her how to express herself. And Helen Keller became an emblem of dignity and the human spirit. One person alone can do so little. Two people together can do so much. So you've experienced what happens when vibrations synchronize. We've seen it, we've felt it, we've heard it. Now what we want to do is we want to augment the vibration. I'm a musician, and one of the terms we use for augmenting vibration is called resonance. This is vibration. This is resonance. How do we create resonance? Through perspective. I've conducted a lot of orchestras in about 40 years, and I've come to the conclusion, basically, I have two choices for perspective. One perspective is through lack. What's missing? Let's say I'm in a rehearsal, somebody makes a mistake. Okay, something went wrong. You made a mistake. There's a problem, I have to fix it. Everything is focused on what's missing. What's not there? What's wrong? What if we flip it and we look at potential and possibility? Same thing happened. How can I use this as a teaching experience instead? How can I ignite your imagination and unite your creativity? Lack or potential and possibility? Mother Teresa said, I will never go to an anti-war demonstration, protest. However, she said, if you have a peace rally, please invite me. You can already feel the difference in these two perspectives. One perspective produces cortisol. When I think of cortisol, I think of a little tiny ship at sea in a terrible storm, tossed about. I don't know what's up, I don't know what's down. And this is the kind of feeling that happens when you're talking about an anti-war protest. Peace, on the other hand, produces dopamine, which is what we talked about earlier. And for me, dopamine is a little like a sunny sky with birds singing. It's a completely different feeling and attitude. We as interculturists, we use a term, and that's a global term that we use, and it focuses on lack. And that term is anti-racism. Anti means I'm against it, I don't like it, I don't want it. Racism conjures up sadness, loneliness, depression. Anti-racism puts in us this cortisol, this negativity, before we even get started. What if instead we flip this perspective and we use something like racial belonging to look at the same issue? Belonging is collaboration, a feeling of being with other people, being together. So in the last few days, I had the great advantage of floating in and out from different groups and watching what you're doing. And these are some of the things that we talked about in the last few days. The thread that I found through the entire conference, to me, is brought home by a group that came out of their room the other night. It was yesterday. And they were so thrilled with what had happened in their seminar. What I've noticed is that you are all extremely passionate about what you do. How often do you get to hang around with people who are passionate about anything? Congratulations. So I want, yes, congratulations. And I know in the past few days that something stood out to you. maybe even brought you bliss. Webster's dictionary says the bliss is extreme joy, even to the point of being oblivious to everything else. Maybe you went there. Find something in these last few days that you can latch on to and keep with yourself. So why do we want entrainment? Because we can be unified and keep our identity. Why do we want resonance? Because through perspective, we grow respect and uniqueness together. Why do we want to choose a plan for ourselves? Because through entrainment and perspective and a plan for the future, I know that we can resonate the future. I know that we will resonate the future. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Cindy. That was wonderful. Very innovative and different. And I just want to close today with a few